Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and this is a 16 string Kumi that's being made into a loop for one of my bracelets. However, the same would apply if we were making a whole bracelet out of this with 16 strings. The first thing we have to do is put the strings into the spaces that we want them in. So in this case, with 16 strands, there will be ones at north, south, east, and west, as well as northeast and southeast and southwest and northwest. So all the basic directions. And so you just kind of put them out there. It doesn't matter. Well, okay. You technically can't get it wrong. It doesn't matter which way you put the colors on there. However, how you put the colors in there will affect what the pattern is of the Kumi itself. So there's lots of room for experimenting and trying different ways. If you want to see some patterns that have already been created by other people, you can go to friendshipbracelets.net, and they do have patterns and stuff available for you there. So now we're gonna start. So it's the top and bottom strings that cross over each other and go into places. But we've learned that if you tie it in a knot first, it will keep it from unraveling when you take the whole thing off and you're setting up to make a bracelet. So a knot at the beginning, and then there will be a knot at the end. And so now those strings will go into their place. Now, how this works is the bottom left comes up and the top right comes down, and then you turn the disc to the next set of strings, and again the bottom left goes up and the top right comes down, and that's it. You just keep rotating and you keep doing that same exact thing, and you keep the tension nice and taut, so that way the strings are in tight, and you just keep that up, bottom left up, top right down, and you keep rotating it. See, obviously we've sped this up now. It's a matter of doing that. Now, what you can't see is every time she takes and does a string, she takes her arm and she just stretches it out to the side, so that way that string gets unraveled or out of the bunch of all the other strings. All the other strings are starting to get a little bit tangled. So each string that she moves, she's making sure it's not getting tangled, because otherwise you could get all of the strings into one big bunch of a mess. So the best way of avoiding that is by stretching out the strings with each single time you move one. So the strings are still a little bit messy at the end, but not as messy as it could be, and it will prevent this from being a problem. So it's just a method that we've kind of figured out over the years. I've been doing Kumi loops on my bracelets for quite a while now, and a lot of people do ask about it. And then we showed a short, like it was literally one of the YouTube shorts, about the way the pattern was set up. And somebody said, well, that's not a helpful tutorial. It doesn't tell me what to do after I get the strings set up. So we're going to make a few of these videos here to show you how to set the strings up and what to do with them. And if you want to see more of that, please let me know in the comments. Because it is the basic redundant, the left one goes up and the right one comes down. I kind of feel like it would be a little bit silly to do a lot of tutorials to teach the same basic thing. With the real only difference is what position the strings are in when you start, and the number of strings themselves. So those are the two big differences that you can make for when it comes to the Kumis. But yeah. It just keeps rotating like this. Now, Mandy had said that when it's 16 strings, you don't go all the way back to in this case, I think she started with red at the north position. You don't go all the way back to red at the north position to have it the length for a loop. She said it was like 3/4 of the way around, and that's where she ends it. But realistically, you can kind of just go until you feel that it's long enough to be the loop that you want. Or again, if you want to continue stretching that out and turn that into a whole bracelet, you can. They make really pretty ropes, honestly. In fact, any kind of rope that you see that's sort of decorative is probably done with a machine as a Kumi. So there we go. Left one up, right one down, and takes the last 2 strings, tie them in a knot, and then again, it just keeps it from unraveling. It keeps it so that way you can manipulate the strings and you don't have to worry about the braid coming loose. Also, you'll see that she'll pull it. When you're making it, it's really compressed, and if you give it a tug, the length of it gets longer. So while you're working on it, you have to take into account that the length will change. See, like boom, just like that, like magic, it just gets longer. So you want to make sure that you leave a little bit of space, you know, like make it a little bit shorter than you think you need. And there's the finished product. They are beautiful. They definitely will make your work shine. And yeah, thanks for watching. As always, don't get your strings in a bunch.